month after month, week after week, just feeling like a shell of yourself and not knowing, like, am I going to be stuck like this? Am I ever going to feel like myself again? It was just really, this time around felt very isolating just because I had lost my career this time and just feeling like, what's next for me?
Kennedy Faulknor, welcome to Invisible Impact. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
Kennedy is a professional women's soccer player for the Vancouver Rise here in Vancouver, Canada. She is a very obviously talented soccer player, athlete, and has a wonderful story of like perseverance to share with us today with her concussion journey. So I want to just start with like a little warm-up question.
Okay.
Obviously, we're going to be talking about concussion and all the things that come with it, but what caused the concussion was soccer. So I'd love to just hear a little bit about like what soccer means to you when you started playing and why you're so passionate about the sport.
Yeah, soccer, I've been playing since I was 4 years old. I grew up watching my dad play, my older sister play. Naturally, I wanted to do everything my older sister did. And my dad played for a team called Magic. And it was like a team full of Jamaicans, like going to watch him play. It was loud. It was fun. There was always food, music, like, and that just sparked my love for the game. And my dad coached me from probably 7 all the way up until I went to university. So it means everything.
Wow, such a special bond.
Yeah,
I can imagine
for sure.
that's created through that. And, you know, in any sport, we see injuries. In a contact sport like soccer, an injury like a concussion, unfortunately, is more common.
Mm-hmm.
Can you share? We'll get to the most recent that caused that post-concussion syndrome, but I know you've had a few others.
Yeah.
Can you share just a little bit about your concussion kind of history?
Yeah, I've had 3 concussions. My first one was in 2016. I just started with the full national team, and the coach told me, the only thing you're missing is experience. So you can come with us to the Algarve Cup in Portugal, or you can go with your U17s and get that experience. So naturally, I went with my U17s just to try to get that experience because I was playing a new position. And second game in, we're playing in Grenada for World Cup qualifiers. And I jump up to head the ball, and I got hit at the back of my head. And it was the last 5 minutes of the game, so I kept playing and was just really out of it. Like, you could see back on the film, like, I'm talking to my coach after the game, I'm not really getting anything, like, and I was out for that one for like a year and 3 months.
Wow.
So that was pretty crazy because that was my first ever big injury. I'd never been injured before, let alone a head injury. Going into grade 11 to grade 12, teachers didn't really like, you're still concussed, like not being at school, being alone at home in a dark room, like, was very depressed and very irritable and just angry because I ended up like missing out on opportunities with the national team, missing my U17 World Cup. So that was a very hard experience for me. But I got cleared from that one. I went to UCLA, had a great 5 years there. My third year, though, I got another concussion, but I was only out for like a few weeks. So came back from that, and I'm like, not again. But yeah.
And then this most recent one.
Yeah, this most recent one, I had just finished playing in my first professional season in Australia. Again, kind of playing a new position, and wanted to come back to a summer league to just keep playing that position and just get more minutes playing that position. And so literally second game of the season, last 5 minutes of the half, a girl took a shot I didn't think she was going to take. I wasn't braced for it. Hit me at the side of my head, like my neck whipped straight to the ground. And one of my teammates beside me, she picked me up. We just kept playing. But at halftime, my coach was talking to me, and I didn't get a word that she said. And I was in Minnesota at the time playing with that team. And the first few months were rough, like headaches every day, going through all the symptoms. And I ended up being out for a year and a half.
Okay, tell me emotionally, if you can remember, because I'm like, it's devastating no matter what, but has to be extra crushing that you already did that
Yeah.
for like a year. So was it like a familiar feeling, or were your symptoms different this time?
It was definitely a familiar feeling. It was kind of just like, why am I going through this again? Like month after month, I'm like, okay, like maybe it would just have been like my last one where I was out a few weeks. That's what I was hoping for, because, you know, at the beginning they're like, oh yeah, it's just a mild concussion. And yeah, month after month, week after week, just feeling like a shell of yourself and not knowing, like, am I going to be stuck like this? Am I ever going to feel like myself again? It was just really, this time around felt very isolating, just because I had lost my career this time, and just feeling like, what's next for me? Like, do I even want to play again or come back from this? So it was really hard.
So much to dig into from that and that time that had passed. And when one thing you point out is like the really challenging timeline of recovery. Like, they can't tell you when you're going to get better. You don't know when you're going to get better. And that feeling that you just said of like, when is this over? Like, can you talk a little bit more about like how you got through day to day?
Yeah.
Just
getting through day to day was definitely tough at the beginning, because you're waking up every day just like praying for a miracle, like asking like, why is this happening to me? Like, why am I going through this? Not feeling like yourself. And, you know, I don't know, just, you know, all you can really do is lay down and just try to remain calm. But like every day I just kind of felt irritable or just angry. And I was dealing with a lot of neck pain and headaches. So it's like adding like stress and anger on top of that, like being tense in your body was already just like not helpful. You know what I mean? So after months and months and months, like towards the end, kind of realizing, okay, I can't really keep living my life like this. Like kind of coming to terms with the fact, like, this is my reality right now, you know? So, you know, what is life trying to teach me right now? And what can I get out of this? And how can I move through my day to day, you know, just taking it step by step and not rushing myself or just putting all these timelines and expectations on myself, because, you know, when I'm going to get cleared, it's going to happen, or, you know, just trusting that things are going to work out in the end.
Yeah, taking that pressure off, sounds like.
Yeah.
And that's interesting that you bring it up. Did you feel a shift in like your recovery when you changed your mindset and potentially started speaking to yourself in a more kind way?
Yeah, for sure. And it also came along with like seeing new doctors as well. Like I probably went through like 4 different doctors seeing, and realizing that like they're saying you are holding a lot of tension in your body and this and that, and like, you know, we can't tell you when you're going to be back is something that's so frustrating to hear, but that's just the reality of post-concussion syndrome. And like, you know, knowing that you don't know sometimes when you're going to come back. So I might as well spend my days trying to have a more positive outlook than, you know, waking up every day trying to like not feel angry or just irritable, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. How many days would you say, I mean, you're probably not going to know the exact number, that you had a headache? Like
almost
straight,
every day. Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Almost every day. It was not only until the end that it was not only until the last few months where I'd go like, okay, maybe I'm having a week without a headache, or like a few days in a row without a headache. But honestly, it was pretty much every day.
And how would you describe it? Because I know some of my friends are like, I have the worst headache today and I can barely do anything. I do not know how you had a headache every single day for like a year plus.
Yeah,
That's crazy to think about.
It would sit right in between my eyes. So even like I had really bad neck pain as well. So like with certain neck movements or certain like head movements that would make my headaches worse. Like remember my mom would be like, Ken, like I just be in my room, like just away from everyone. All my friends are like, Ken, where are you? Like, you know, let's hang out, let's do this. I'm like, I literally can't. And so my mom would be like, Ken, just come watch this movie with me, or like, but even laying down beside her and me having my head in a certain position, like I'm getting such a bad headache. So if I'm not laying like straight on my back, just with my eyes closed, or like, in a certain position, I'm not feeling good at all. So it's like you kind of just want to be alone.
Right. And how did you feel your days? Because it's like, it sounds like, correct me if I'm wrong, like every single thing you could do would make you feel worse.
Mm-hmm. Filled my days, I don't know, just at home, just doing rehab, trying to go on walks when I could, maybe hanging out with family, but that was pretty much it. There wasn't much that I could do. See friends when I could, but that was only like a limited amount of time, So in my room, yeah, not much that I could do.
And can you explain for people who don't understand, I've never had PCS, like why hanging out with friends, why just like being out in the world is challenging?
Mm-hmm. Just because it's like draining and overwhelming, like being in a crowd with a lot of people, like I said, like moving my head, like would give me a headache. And sometimes my neck pain was so bad. Like you feel like someone's standing on your shoulders. You feel like you just have giant knots like in your neck. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's very uncomfortable. Just like being in your body. You know what I mean? So I rather just not have like a bad attitude and be around people. So just wanted to be by myself kind of thing. Mm-hmm.
And you said already it was very isolating. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah. I think just the fact that nobody really understands what you're going through. People are like, oh, Ken, you're still concussed. Like, you look fine. You look perfectly normal to everybody around you. But it's like on the inside, you feel like a shell of yourself, So it can be very draining. You don't have a lot of people to talk about post-concussion syndrome about, because at the time, like I didn't know anybody else who's going through it, you know what I mean? So as much as you want to vent to people and stuff, it's like they don't understand fully. But I feel like my family, my friends were so supportive of me and they really helped me get back. So I really had a good group of people around me who really did lift me up and help me see the brighter side to it. So I'm always thankful and grateful for that.
That's so great. Mm-hmm. You said something that gave me a chill when you said that, like, you look fine. Like, how are you not better yet?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Did you get that a lot?
No, for sure. Like, it's been a year, Ken, still, like,
right. You're still concussed.
Yeah. And it's hard to explain because everyone's concussion experience is different. Like, oh, I've had a concussion before, but, people saying that, but everyone's experience is different. So it's very hard.
Did you ever have moments, I know for me, that when people would say that, I'd be like, yeah, wait, why isn't it? But like, is something wrong with me? Like everyone else can get better.
Yeah,
why am I not better?
Mm-hmm. It was kind of like, am I not doing enough? Like, I'm trying to stay on top of my rehab. I'm trying to do everything the doctors are telling me to do. Like, is it me? Like, what am I not doing? What am I like? It's very hard.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
And when you're in that spiral, you're also then weighing your career of like, okay, this is all I'm assuming this was your dream. You're doing it. You're living. You love it. Like you said, what was that like? Because I can't imagine.
Yeah. Especially like being like a high performance athlete from young. It's like soccer for a lot of people, like a lot of athletes, is like, this is my only identity. Who am I outside of my sport? So when this is taken away, it's kind of like, what now? Like, I really started to have to think about like, okay, if I'm not playing soccer, like, who is Kennedy? And what do I want to do with my life? What career do I want to have? Because this is the only thing I've been doing my entire life. You know what I mean? So a blessing in disguise, because it gave me a lot of time to think about who I am outside of the sport and what I want for myself and what I want for my life. So, you just spend a lot of time thinking. That's all you have is time to think. So, as hard as it was, I'm also grateful for that time as well.
Yeah, that's beautiful that you can see like the positive in that and like that opportunity to like you said, there's literally nothing else to do. So it's like, okay.
Yeah.
Then it's also like, my head hurts so bad I don't want to think.
Exactly.
I don't want to.
Exactly. You just want to sleep or just, sleep
Did
it
you
away.
have, or were you able to find kind of, I'm assuming like exercise is a big outlet for you, and like playing, were you able to find another outlet, or was exercise challenging still, or was just more like the contact that was hard, or how was that journey?
Exercise, like I could maybe like bike or like walk or, go for jogs and stuff like that. But it was really like the training part that, the head movements, the checking my shoulder or like receiving a pass and having to look the other way. Like I'd feel fine in the trainings, but post training, I'd feel terrible or like be down for like a week after that. Symptoms just getting worse. So I do think it's important for you to find other things that you can do so you're not just cooped up in your room and just laying there and you know what I mean? Like getting in your head and let everything weigh on you. So it was good when I was able to just go outside and run or, just be in nature at all. So yeah.
Yeah, that's really good advice for people too that might be listening to this right now, cooped up in their room. Like we get it, but try to, if you can do it,
exactly,
get yourself out. Even if you're just sitting in nature, you don't have to walk. You don't have to be running, but just change your environment a little bit.
Exactly.
What sort of things, like we kind of talk about like the mental health aspect of it. We talked about the isolation a little bit and like how challenging your support system was really helpful to you.
Yeah.
Could you speak at all to, because anxiety and depression, very common symptoms with concussion. Was that anything that you experienced?
No.
And what was that like for you?
For sure. Definitely experienced a lot of anxiety and depression. Honestly, I felt like I was like crying almost every day to the point where now like life feels calm and I'm just like, oh, I don't remember like the last time I cried or feeling like this,
What's
you know
going
what I
on?
mean? So, it was hard, and being alone in that is it weighs on you. It really does, on your mental and just feeling like you're alone and just not having the energy for anything. And on top of that, like you're concussed, but it's also your life is still going on, you know what I mean? It's like I lost a friend, I was going through a breakup. So and on top of all these things, like you're still dealing with your life doesn't stop, you know what I mean? So the added pressures of losing people you love and stuff like that, like you will get through it at the end of the day, and to just reach out for help if you need it. See a therapist, talk to people, talk to anyone, your support system, and you'll come out the other side of it.
Yeah, I love that. It's so important to get that professional help and to know that like it is normal. There's no shame that you're feeling that. Your brain has changed. So your brain is injured. Like you're going to have a lot of new symptoms and they can feel really scary if you haven't experienced them before either.
Exactly.
So I appreciate you speaking to that. If you're looking for resources like education to help you understand what you're going through, doctor recommendations, maybe some physical therapists or vision therapists in your area, peer support to connect with someone who's been through persistent post-concussion symptoms, there's an incredible free resource that I would really love for you to check out. It's a helpline that's linked right below. You fill out a form on the website, and a member of our care team will be in touch within 2 days to learn more about you, what you've been going through, and how we can get you the help you deserve. I really love the point that you said of like, life is still moving all around you.
Exactly.
Like you're like, hey, I would like to be stuck in my room, but you have to still show up for people in your life. And like, how did you navigate maybe the advice for people, like those conversations? Some people are like, I don't know how to talk to my friends about this. I don't know how to tell my teachers or my boss or my coach. Or how did you handle that?
I think just being very open and honest, like this is my reality right now. Like you may not understand it, but just being open with people, and that's okay. And like the people who are going to support you are going to support you. And if they don't, they don't, you know what I mean? So, just having that good group around you. And my friends did such a good job checking in on me and stuff like that. So even just reciprocating that back to them and checking on them and still being having those conversations with people.
Yeah, staying connected.
Yeah, exactly.
So helpful. So we talked about, sorry, I'm ping-ponging all around, but we talked about the headache. We talked about the neck. What sort of other symptoms did you experience?
I think some days a little bit of nausea, just when like the eye movements and neck stuff was a lot, like just being in the car, experiencing nausea, like, yeah, but those were my main 3 biggest symptoms.
And moving through how you I know there was a lot of rest, you're laying in your bed, you're doing your best at your therapies. When did you start feeling like, I actually think I'm getting a little bit better? And like, what did that look like?
So I got my concussion May 2023, and I think I was seeing a couple different doctors, and they were only treating like my neck. Oh, your neck is causing all of the headaches. And I'm like, okay, but I'm getting my neck worked on, but it still feels so tight. I'm still getting the same headaches and just moving around a lot. It wasn't until August 2024 when I went to a place called VenMed in Toronto. And I feel like they saved my life. Like, they were amazing there. I was seeing a neurologist and a vision therapist, and I feel like they were so dedicated to getting to the root cause of what was happening with me. Like, I went in for testing, and they had me put on these goggles and had me track all the eye movements and with my neck and my balance and all that, and finding out, oh, it's your left eye is not really cooperating with your right eye, or like your neck in this position is not really working the way that it should be. So them making a plan and working together and giving me exercises to do at least like 3 times a day. Like, I always tell people, like, I'd send my friends Snapchats, like, me with an eye patch on and like following different dots, like, moving my head certain ways, but in doing like all this sound and touch localization type stuff, that really got me back right. It was crazy, but really sticking to that rehab plan and trusting them, and it got me back. I started seeing them maybe the end of August, and I was cleared by November.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
No, the vision therapy stuff is crazy, by the way. Like,
exactly.
Balance on one foot and look over here to this card and then that card.
Push your head this way. Like,
what am I doing?
Yeah.
But I'm so happy to hear that it helped and it made a big difference.
Yeah.
Is that sort of strange that it's like your eyes cannot be working?
Yeah. And it's like they kind of, I'm not sure. I think it's called like vestibular. I forget. But like your inner ear, your eye, your neck muscles are all kind of interconnected. And so that was thrown off. And so literally retraining your brain, your eyes, and your neck to all get back on the same page. It's so things that you don't even think about or like would have no idea. Like, things that we take for granted every single day. But really training all those things to get back aligned and on the same page got me back very quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so wild. Yeah. And it does give you a new appreciation too when you are feeling better.
Exactly.
Of like, wow, everything's working out supposed to today.
Yeah, exactly.
That's such a blessing. What were the emotions behind being able to train again?
It was honestly amazing. It started off like me training like by myself, like at a field by my house, and just starting small, like maybe like 20 minutes or like 15 minutes or, gradually getting more and more time. And, soccer has also been something that's had to put a lot of stress on my life. I used to put so much pressure on myself and, be hard on myself, or I should be here by now, or I should be doing this, what I mean? But like just being able to go to the field and like no stress, no pressure, just doing what I love and being able to train, do my footwork and like, be out there by myself. It was so freeing and it was so much fun. And when they cleared me to be back training with a team, I remember training with this team back at home in Toronto and texting my friend, she was on the team. I'm like, I'm so nervous. Like, she's like, Ken, like, it's just like, it's you're gonna be fine. And I was like so nervous to come back on my first practice with the whole team, but all the girls were amazing, and I just had so much fun. Like, was just loving it again. So yeah.
That's sort of cool that it like brought you back in a new way, a new appreciation.
For sure.
It's like so cheesy, but it's sometimes you like can't appreciate like what you have until it's gone.
Exactly.
It sounds like that was maybe kind of like that for you. Oh, I'm so glad. And I'm sure the first game back was emotional too.
Yeah. Our first game here was at BC Place for the inaugural season of the Northern Super League.
Like, how cool.
Like, it was such a blessing. My family was there, and just playing at BC Place in that stadium was just such an amazing feeling and felt amazing. My team just got back from Toronto, and we played at BMO. And I grew up going to that stadium with my dad, like being a TFC fan and watching Canada play there. So it had always been a dream of mine to play in that stadium. And the first time we went to Toronto to play, I was injured and I couldn't play, and I was really upset. I had hurt my hamstring, but I'm back cleared now. So when we went to BMO this time, like it was just an amazing experience, and seeing all my family, all my friends after the game, like I just started crying because it just felt so full circle and like such a blessing to know that like these people really supported me the whole way through, and have them watch me play at home in our stadium. Like, it was just amazing.
Oh, I'm so happy for you. That's like such a cool thing. And people don't realize like that's like the victory after like a year and a half of just struggle in so many different ways.
Yeah.
And what I'm curious, if you were talking now to someone who has absolutely no idea what post-concussion syndrome is, how would you describe it to them?
I would describe it as, man, you're still having symptoms every single day, whether it's a headache or neck pain, and just feeling like a shell of yourself. You're doing your rehab, you're trying to make it through, but you're still having symptoms every single day. And it is a very frustrating experience. It can be a very isolating experience. You're seeing a bunch of different doctors just trying to figure out how to get back to feeling like yourself again. That's all I ever wanted, is just to feel like myself. So that's what it felt like for me.
And that is great, first off. And what you would say to someone who doesn't know, what would you say to Kennedy a year and a half ago, or whatever timeline it was, when you were like in your maybe darkest place in recovery? What would you say to her?
I would just tell her to keep faith, because you will make it through this and you'll come out the other side. I know that it's dark right now and you can't see a way out. I know that you feel like this is never ending, but you're going to make it out of this so much stronger than you can even imagine. You're going to learn so much about yourself and who you are, and just to keep going.
I love that. And what is one of those lessons that you feel like this experience taught you?
I feel like it taught me just to have patience and grace with myself. I'm a person, like, before my concussion, very type A type person. Like, I need to be in control of everything in my life. And, I feel like God took everything away from me. Like, I don't have my career. I can't do the things that I love anymore. So you really just have to acknowledge that this is my situation right now, and just take it one step at a time. And the more pressure and stress that you put on yourself is only going to make it worse, until you just really just surrender and just trust the process.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. When you said about control, it made me think of another part that's really challenging, like with the social aspect, or really any aspect of like how challenging it is to make plans when you have PCS, because you never know how you're going to feel. And I don't know if you can speak to that. Like, I know, like, I always need to know that I have an exit plan anywhere that I am. Did you have that at all? Or like the challenging part with making plans?
Because it's like, oh, Ken, do you want to like go to the movies or like hang out? And it's like, okay, I want to say yes, but it's like, I don't know how I'm going to feel when I wake up tomorrow, or like, you know what I mean? So it's like, I feel like you guys posted it. It was like, it's okay to set boundaries with people and say no, because you're saying yes to yourself. You know what I mean? Like, it's okay to not do everything. Just be patient with yourself. But also, like, if you can go out and see your friends, like, that will be such a good feeling for you as well. So it's kind of finding that balance, knowing, like you said, an exit plan, like if you're not feeling good, knowing that, okay, I'm gonna go home now, or just having that balance.
Yeah. And I think knowing too, like it's not forever. So this might be awful for however many months that you kind of need to say no to stuff, or you have to stay in your room, but like you are living proof like it will get better.
Yeah, exactly.
And like it does get better. And I love that. And I'm also curious, I know you mentioned at the very beginning, but if we have some like high school age people potentially listening to this, your first experience where you said that was between 11th and 12th grade, so challenging. What do you say to them?
I would say to them, it's like hard not going to be able to go to school and like see your friends and hang out, but just trusting that you taking care of yourself right now and putting yourself first is going to benefit you in the end. You might want to do all the things and like you're missing that party, or you're missing like hanging out with your friends and stuff like that, but just trusting that things will get better in time and you will make it out the other side. And it might feel really hard, and it might feel really like nobody understands what you're going through. Your teachers may not get it or be questioning you or doubting your symptoms, but it's your experience and it might teach you a lot, and you'll come out better from it.
Yeah. I love that. And what do you think, I know you spoke about the clinic that you went to, vision therapy, seeing the right doctors, having that be really monumental. Were there any other changes you made, or things habits you picked up, or any other tips that like helped with your recovery?
I mean, I feel like everything. I tried to eat clean, change my diet. I tried to take supplements that might help my brain or my vision, and just trying to live a healthier lifestyle, because you don't know what may be triggering a headache, or your neck is inflamed, eating foods that are anti-inflammatory, you know what I mean? So really that kind of stuff is what I found helps me, and just really trying to make a routine and kind of sticking to that.
That's important too. And sticking to it. That's great. I really resonated when you said at the beginning that you were like, I was crying every day, because that is also that like not feeling like you have control of your emotion, and like the increased crying, increased like anger. Like I was so snappy. Like, can you talk a little bit more about that? Because for people who might be listening, like we see you and like it is normal to feel like you like aren't in your body maybe.
I felt like even with my family, it's like I felt so bad. Like my mom and my sister were really like, you are so snappy, like your attitude is crazy. But it's like you really don't have patience for like a single thing. Like you're just trying to process everything in your brain, and then it comes out wrong, and you feel bad for hurting people's feelings, you know what I mean? But that's just kind of the reality of what we're going through. And the crying every day, I really felt like I didn't have any control over my emotions. I just felt very overwhelmed, very sad, not understanding why this was happening.
It's so hard. So speaking to someone who is in a similar position, maybe they're like on month 6 or 7 right now at PCS, and it's that every day of like waking up and being like, I still feel terrible, and I have no idea when I'm going to get better. What is your message to that person?
Like the days are going to feel redundant, and it is hard, but just knowing that if you're doing everything that you can do, taking that pressure off yourself and taking that time, like moving slow and just giving yourself that space to know that this is what I'm going through right now, and you're going to come out the other side of it. Like it's hard right now. You might not know when you're going to be back, and it's so hard. Like you're on month 6, 7, you're like, okay, maybe month 9 or maybe not month 10, and like you can really get in your head, but just knowing that if you're doing everything that you can do, you will make it out the other side of it. So just try to stay patient with yourself and try to give yourself that grace, because it is hard. It is hard, but I feel like you're going to be better for it on the other side.
I love that. And you said the word hard several times in that. Boiling it down, like what for you? What was the hardest part of PCS?
I think the hardest part was just it's such an uncomfortable feeling. Like, I don't know how else to describe it, but just the neck tension, like the headaches, like it's not a nice feeling to go through your day with every single day. The irritability, the depression, the anxiety, and it's like, I don't know, like it's very hard to go through, and getting through your days and trying to manage that by yourself. It's kind of like you don't have a lot of people to reach out to or speak to it about. So it's like you kind of just feel like you're going through your days alone. So it's really, yeah.
In the fitting kind of last sort of question, because it's called invisible impact, I feel like that invisible part of it only makes it harder, would you say?
Exactly, because it's like you look fine, but even like looking back at videos of myself, like I lost so much weight, like I was just literally looked so drained in my face, like was not myself at all. You look like yourself, you know what I mean? But you're not yourself. And so it is very invisible, but you feel it so deep on the inside. So yeah.
It's like screaming to other people. I think I used to say, like, I wish I was walking around with a sign on my head that was like, I'm sick, or like I have an injury.
Yeah. It's like if you broke your foot or like tore your ACL, like people can see that, you know what I mean? But nobody really gets it.
Yeah. Well, I think people like you speaking up about it and sharing is going to help more people get it. So I'm so grateful that you're here.
Just being able to speak with you and share my story and talk to you about your journey. Like, I wish I had a podcast like this to listen to, or, like I'm on Reddit or like listening to other people's crazy experiences. And I'm like, dang, like how do I, it's finding that community, you know what I mean? And like you guys said, you found some of my videos. Like one day I just started recording my journey and like was just posting it on TikTok, or like just taking videos just so I could have a memory of what I was going through and how far I've come. I remember like I had a calendar in a journal and I pretty much wrote in it every single day. And to look back on my symptoms and how I was feeling, and to look back like, wow, I was really down bad, like, but we made it out the other side. So I'm just super grateful and blessed, and thank you for giving me this opportunity. Yeah,
absolutely. Cheering you on. I'm so grateful that you're feeling better, and it's really inspirational to hear your story and how you were able to get through it. So thank you for sharing. Where can people follow you, keep up, watch your career?
I think Kennedy Faulknor on Instagram, and on TikTok, Kennedy Faulknor as well. So yeah, that's where you guys can follow me. And
amazing. We will do it. Thank you so much, Kennedy.
Thank
Appreciate
you so
you being
much.
here.
Thank you.